everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Lampworking 101.89 part 1. So I had to break this up into 2 parts because it ended up being way too long of a demonstration. So we're going to start out here in part 1 by making the Many Layered Murrini cane. Then I'll follow up with the demonstration of how I will incorporate these into a bead. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. And I'll see you next time in the dungeon. All right, here is the colors that I'm going to use, a variety of transparent greens with a few opaque greens as well. And I have all the colors written down for you in the description, so you can check those out. But my base color is going to be the Effetri Marmo Verde, which is a really pretty light green. And I'm going to start out by getting a nice big gather of this color. And this is going to be the base for this Murrini. And once I get enough, then I will start to shape it up. I'll start out by using a mini mashers. And what I'm looking for shape-wise is slightly oblong. I don't want to start out with a circle here, so what I'm going to do is just gently heat up that bit and start to pull it out until I get to a slightly longer shape. And then this will become the footprint for the Murrini. A little bit more, and I think that looks good. So if you want to, you can always transfer this to a metal punty if you would like, but I did the whole thing right off of the glass rod and I didn't have any problems with it breaking. So I'm going to start out by adding, or trying to add, my transparent layers here. And I'm going to start out with CIM, the Syltherin. And it's a wonderful color. It's a nice dark green. I'm not sure if they still make this color. It may have been a exclusive color or a limited run color. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to add a nice layer of the Syltherin, and then right on top of that I'll go back with the Marmo Verde. So what I'm going to do is start adding all of these layers and sandwiching them in between with the opaque color. And the next color I'm going to use, I think this is an emerald green. None of my colors were really I didn't have them tagged with the name on them, so I am just doing my best to get this color list together for you guys and know which colors I'm using. But I'm pretty sure that is a emerald green. It could be a dark grass green though. All right, so I'm just adding, and when I'm adding these colors, I'm doing my best not to heat up or get any heat where the glass rod is coming out of this Murrini. And that will help it from not breaking. If you continue to overheat that area, more than likely it's going to crack, and you might have to transfer this whole bit of glass to a metal punty. But so far so good here. I'm just going to continue to add. The thinner the layer is really nice. If you have a thick layer, you'll see that. So I did realize that just one simple swipe all the way across was sufficient enough for this Murrini. Now that next color I use is a light grass green, I believe. It might be a dark grass green, I'm not really sure, but I'm still going to add the same way, and I'm just building up these layers. It's fun making this cane. You know, it's real different from the other types of Murrinis that are made when you're working in the round. So it's kind of fun to see this one being built up in this stack-like technique. Now this last color, I had a hard time verifying exactly what it was, so I ended up identifying it as a pale something. I think it was a light lemon yellow or a green yellow, something like that, but it's the lightest green I could find. Of course, these colors can be any colors you want. I have seen this done as a rainbow of transparency with white in between, and it looks spectacular. So to finish off, I'm going to end with a opaque grass green, and on the other side I will end up with the opaque pea green. And I'm just going to layer those up, and we have finally finished our many pancake stacked layers of glass here. So the other thing about this Murrini is that this is also the Murrini that one would make to show feathers. This is the feather Murrini, as well as the stacked pancake Murrini. So when I'm done adding all these layers, I'm going to use a slightly larger size punty, like I think this is like a 1/4 inch punty, and I'm just going to push it right into the center. And this is the first one of these I've ever made, so I was kind of skeptical on how it was going to pull out in the long run. So I go ahead and take my glass rod off and clean up that area a bit, and then I will go ahead and add my second punty right in the center. And now the whole thing is, there's our lovely stacked green layered Murrini there. I think this one was really exciting to play around with, and it was pretty easy to make too. So when I'm, heating this up, I did my best not to really get any heat onto the punties. I just wanted all the heat completely in the center of this, because I want to make sure that when I pull this out, it pulls out evenly. Give it a little press here and there, and very gently here I am pulling this out, and you can see the center is much hotter than the ends. And that's fine. This is exactly what you were looking for. I was so happy to see this being pulled out like here. It was really cool. So we're gonna keep this cane nice and thick. Don't make it too small, or it'll just be, you're working with little tiny pieces. You want it kind of on the thick side. And I'm going to heat up. I guess I got about a foot's worth. It might be a little too thin, but it worked out great. So I'm gonna heat this end off, and I just love the way these ends look. And I have my special disc cutting Murrini cutters that I got from France Art Glass. And there's the end, and I have cut my Murrinis up, and we're ready to go for part 2. I'm so glad you guys are joining me today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time in the dungeon.